How's it going, guys and gals? This is Advanced Warrior here, and welcome back to another Tiny Wars replay commentary as we continue on through the ranked matches of this game. Excuse me for one moment here. So I'm able to keep my face cam here, which honestly is kind of nice. The PNG was really cool, but expect more of the PNG from the Tiny Wars tournament that I am currently running. Alright, so let's take a look at the map, which I actually forgot about the map. No entry. So the map here is called No Entry. It is a 2-base map. Each side starts off with an infantry, and of course player 2 starts off with their free infantry. So we have we each have 2 landers, and it does look kind of split, but over here is all beach tiles, so the landers can go through as far as they could please, and they could just drop units there or boost other units. We also have these temporary seaports here. Now they do look kind of useless, just like, you know, 1 terrain star, that's it. But remember that properties in Days of Ruin Tiny Wars gives +2 vision, so if you're able to get both of these, then you will actually have a decent amount of vision on your half of the map here. So here for the bases here, we have a meteor which can break through, or you're gonna have to loop around the road or go through some forests here. Same thing, just go around the mountains or go through some forests, or find some ways to like use your landers as best as you can. One interesting thing about this map is that there's this one open, 1 tile wide choke point here, where if you're willing to do it, you could probably like throw a lander here and maybe trap the landers here and force your opponent to try to get rid of that lander, which is why I think this map might be called No Entry. All right, yeah, we got some mist tiles here. A port back here, you actually could get some naval units, but they would like only go up to here. So like maybe a battleship could maybe be decent here. Put it on the temporary seaport. Could happen, could not happen. Battleships are a little bit cheaper, and it is a 2-base map. Not very high income. I would say, like, I feel like these 6 here are probably contested properties. Maybe these 2 not so much, but definitely I would say these 4 are a little bit contested. Alright, so let's move on to our COs. I am player 1, and I'm playing as Lynn. Lynn's CO zone is 1 radius, 1 tile wide, and gives all of her units plus 10% offense and defense, and plus 20% offense and defense for all her ground units. So all her ground units will get a plus 30% offense and defense. That does include infantry, and which I am sure, because they're technically ground units. And all her other units will, like air units, naval units, will have plus 10% offense and defense. So really good buffs, but a really small zone. Now I found that this was okay for a light base map because there are like fewer units. That means that those units are more likely to enjoy that tremendous buff because of how little units there are, and it's a great buff because the CO zone is only 1. A little bit tricky to use, but you can definitely get it rolling if you put on like a good unit and then like have like good follow-up. One idea that I kind of thought of with Lynn is like you put like a recon, a non-tank vehicle, a mobile unit, and if you want to attack a enemy from both sides with the buffs, you could like put like say that unit in a corner of that unit, and then 2 of Lynn's tiles will be adjacent to the enemy, therefore you can use both of those tiles. Very likely to kill, and then you could just increase it by 1. Obviously you're going to need to keep it safe when you're trying to grow your CO zone, which isn't too difficult considering that if you put it on the ground unit, it will get plus 30% defense. So the survivability for a Lynn CO unit is pretty high, and if it like survives like 1 or 2 HP, just join or just hide it, put it in the back, give some units the boost while trying to keep it alive. Alright, so her power is a global CO zone, so all ground units will get the plus 30% offense and defense, all other units plus 10% offense and defense, and all of the ground units will have plus 2 vision and can see through hiding places. So this is great for fog if you're trying to make a big push, considering that you are very buffed up, like all your units are buffed up. 1 second. Alright guys and gals, apologies for the interruption, but going back to Lin's power, with the ground units all getting plus 30% offense, defense, and plus 2 vision, it means that your pushes are going to be powerful. Like everyone's going to get buffed up, everyone can see all your enemy's units, and you could like plan out your attack from there. They don't get a movement bonus, unfortunately, though, but that's okay. Like if you like maybe plan it out, or like if you're close enough and you know you're going to get some vision on your enemy side, then yeah, that's when you could best use the power. Yeah, that's Lin for you guys. All right, and my opponent is playing Forsythe. Forsythe's zone radius is 5. That is the maximum that I believe any CO in Days of Ruin can get, and all of his units gain plus 20% offense and plus 20% defense, which is really, really nice. A little bit less than Lin's. Like his air units will get more buffs than Lin, but Lin will still have more ground units buffed up. More buffs for the ground units rather than Forsythe, but Forsythe is able to get out more. The only issue that I kind of have with Forsythe is that on a light-based map, it's might be a little bit too much of the zone radius, and the buffs are really good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm fighting a Forsythe unit and they have the buffs, I'm a little bit in trouble. But if I'm fighting a Forsythe unit and I have the buff and they still have the buff, I'm probably going to enjoy it just a little bit better. So it's kind of in the middle. But yeah, like with the zone radius of 5, sure, you can cover more area, but I feel like that you're not going to have like enough units to like try to enjoy it. It's really hard to explain. So like, I guess the way Days of Ruin is balanced is that you have a smaller zone radius, you have huge buffs. You have a wider zone radius, you're gonna have, you know, subpar buffs. It's like really hard to explain. So it's like, obviously, Forsythe with plus 30 in all of his units, yeah, absolutely better than Lin. But just like having plus 5, yeah, you're giving your units some buffs. My CO zone is smaller, but they're getting a lot larger buffs. I wouldn't mind having this discussion in the comments below, but that's just kind of my way of thinking. You're gonna have less units, you don't need such a huge zone radius, unless you're gonna like leave a unit behind and just like have your units on the edge, then yeah, that's completely enjoyable for those units. It's very hard to put in words, I'm very sorry. As for the powers, he has none, so that's his whole gimmick, just having a really large buff, having a really large zone with a decent buff. Pretty good CO. I prefer him on like on a map with more units though, so more units can embrace that plus 20% offense and defense. Alright, so that's been a while with the COs and the map. So without further ado, let us begin. Lin has such a good team. So yeah, with the free infantry, just obviously just gonna go straight for the property. And I'm trying to move my landers out, seeing like what could I possibly do with them. I'm not planning to go far out right now. Like maybe leave a lander here. Next turn, this infantry goes on that lander, and maybe like go somewhere out here. Maybe going for this property. My opponent is definitely trying to go past that and like skips this property, and in 2 turns can get this one, which is completely okay. I mean, you're securing that property at the very least. And he moves his landers kind of in the same position as I do. Alright, so I go ahead and just capture that property, capture the closest ones, and yeah, you know, I just have this infantry immediately go for that one property. My opponent is getting his first. But yeah, you see, he has one lander backed up, probably going to pick up that infantry. And he's got a second lander moving up. And I do spot it while trying to get this property. I'm pretty sure my opponent does the same thing the next turn. So next turn I build a bike and I build a infantry on the bottom. So yeah, where your bases are, you are kind of split. Unless you like bring it back and forth with landers. But in the middle, that's where both of your sides can join. Alright, so I get one of those properties. And I go for the port and the back property because my bike next turn should be able to reach the other property. Yeah, for a second you saw that it could. Alright, so I have my lander back, trying to get that bike up front. And I think this is the turn. Yeah, look at this. Literally no entry at all. Well, it's not updated right. I don't think I cannot go past this. Is that a bug, or can I actually go past that? It feels wrong that I can, if that's the case. But yeah, maybe it updates now. What the heck? That is so weird. I really don't know why it's like that. So, I think I might have seen it? Yeah, I think I probably saw it. Oh no, I see it now. Oh, is it because now that I saw it that I can't go through? Oh well, forget about that. My first vehicle is a recon, and last turn my opponent's first vehicle is actually a flare. So a slightly slow start. Now I see a base skip. My opponent probably base skipped there. So I'm going for that temporary seaport, and I'm completely okay with it because it's vision, and if I have damaged landers, then I can enjoy that. But yeah, my second vehicle, I followed up with a tank. Lin tanks are really, really good, especially if you have so many others just like following it up. So yeah, my opponent falls back, is bringing the flare on my HQ side. Probably gonna try to scout out my HQ and possibly go for a capture maybe. But yeah, right now I've secured all the properties that I feel comfortable with having. And I don't think I go for the attack. No, I don't. Alright, now can I... Okay, there we go, yeah. There we go. It's because I didn't have vision of the lander. It assumed that my unit could go through this, which is probably why it was showing like that. But yeah, I see the lander, and I respond with an artillery. If he keeps that lander there, I can trap it myself, and I can trap it myself, and I can leave the artillery there, and I could just shoot it wherever it tries to move. If he decides to move it, my artillery can go for that meteor that's right in front of it, and he so chooses to leave it there. Alright, got both of the seaports in the middle. Time to punish. I see that I'm capturing this temporary airport here. I think I soon opted to leave it and capture the property, but I think I make the mistake and like accidentally capture it. So, lander has only one vision, it cannot do anything. And I missed that my opponent has put his CO unit in a rocket. Might have been like 2 turns ago, since I had to go through some woods. Rockets definitely take a while to go through some woods. Let me please check. Yeah, 3 movement through 4 rockets. So yeah, it's pretty big. If he's gonna try to go for like the slow death ball push, that probably could work. But his second vehicle being a rocket, he has 2 mechs to try to make up, and of course he has landers for the mechs. But this rocket, remember, all units have to pay 50% to load that. So 15,000 for a rocket, and then 75,000 to load the CO in the rocket. So, yeah, it's like almost 3 tanks worth, all thrown in that slow rocket. So my opponent, I hope he's like building a lot of units to try to like push up there. I might do a stat check after this turn. And yeah, he's trying to go for one of my properties, and he has the lander send both the infantry and the mech right in front of my Lin tank. I am going to enjoy this. Builds a mech and a rocket. So as you can see, I currently have one more building, then 2 more buildings in my... Wait, no. No. Huh. Oh, no, it's because I have the ports. That's right. We're making the same income. Have slightly more units, a little bit ahead on the unit value. And I think that's all that you really need to see. Alright, so when I saw that, I was ecstatic. Alright, and here you see, I should have captured this property. I shouldn't have gone for this temporary airport. My opponent does have a battlecopter, but me building a temp airport isn't going to do anything against my opponent's battlecopter. Alright, so, yeah, I get one boost, and then I get another boost with this infantry. Probably could have done it with the recon, or maybe I had plans with the recon. Artillery gets a good shot off. Tank also brings it down to 1 HP. Unfortunately, does not kill. So I am a bit occupied. And here I make another dumb mistake. I move it because I'm like, you know what? Let me just try to get my landers in a slightly better spot. But this doesn't change anything. So moving it two tiles like that, it's not changing anything. And it's plus giving my opponent the chance to scout out my air unit, my airport, and can see that I built a battlecopter. So that was crucial information that I let my opponent try to get. Alright, so they don't get the property on the top. Battlecopter moves up. His flare gets a lot of good vision down there, and I don't understand why it's in this spot specifically. The tank obviously cannot reach it. And artillery would have had to been here or here for me to shoot the lander over here. So leaving it here is still in artillery range. Missed opportunity for my opponent to try to scout out for this battlecopter. So I wasn't punished for my blunder. Alright. Pulls his mech back to heal. And the rocket, Forsythe rocket, shooting down the meteor. So we both had plans with indirects there. And my artillery levels up a little bit from that lander kill. And I'm pretty sure I don't get any boosts for this, but I'm dealing a lot of damage to this meteor here. 26 HP on that meteor. Sending tanks and foot soldiers up by his HQ. Not kind of threatening it with like 2 bikes, but that'd be a little bit overextending for me. Lander moves up by the bike and infantry. 2 infantry trying to kill my bike, but bikes are a little bulkier than the infantry, so it survives with 3 HP. And it's also on a silo, which gives 2 defense, not 3 defense. I believe woods give 3 defense. Yeah, woods give 3 defense, so woods are better defensively than properties. Alright, so I finally captured that property. Should have gotten it sooner. I think at this point we have all the properties. No, my opponent didn't capture one. Probably this one. Maybe when we get the POV back. So yeah, I have my anti-air, having all my units come towards the bottom side, because I feel like my opponent might be pushing on the bottom. And I have 2 tanks to try to defend the top, boost up the bike just a bit. My battlecopter is fairly well protected, and I put another unit in front of it. It is a hidden tile though. So my opponent reveals everything, and the tank moves in. Oh yeah, this recon can't see the tank because properties are hidden tiles. I would have maybe opted to move this infantry and get the tank to like +1 HP. I could still reach it though, but it's like still slightly better defense than leaving it on a beach with like 0 terrain stars. But yeah, just a slight blunder. Like if you move this infantry, it already saw this recon, so if this infantry like moves as far away as it could, the recon is still in vision. That's how Days of Ruin vision works. My opponent, slight mech spam, artillery, battlecopter, anti-air, no tanks, unfortunately. So if his mechs are on the front lines too, so if I get like good first strikes on the mechs, then I don't have to worry about the, then my tanks can kind of roam free. Alright, so my opponent's like slowly got like recon, anti-air, all on the top side. Finally builds a tank on the bottom and the anti-air on the top, but fortunately I have my battlecopter on the bottom. So I, 1 second. Apologies for the second interruption. Pizza guy delivered the pizza at the wrong location. I didn't order the pizza and it was dropped in front of us. Unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure he'll find the right address. But yeah, so back here, I go in for an attack and I have my bike move all the way down here. It's kind of like a suicide bike just to get the intel. And here I see he does have a battlecopter down here. I do have both a battlecopter and anti-air on that front. And I don't see the flare, I don't see the anti-air though, but I'm not gonna go all in, I'm pretty sure. Like, I am probably gonna go for this artillery, and it's gonna increase my CO zone because everyone has mostly everyone has a 30-60 increase, and currently I have 16. Forsythe has 0 because he doesn't gain any when he's in his zone. So yeah, kill off that mech. In comes the tank. It kills it. Oh, I didn't increase it? Oh, that's a rip. Yeah, there's a slight little issue with a slight little issue when you have a small CO zone. It's a little hard to get a follow up. If this anti-air was a lot closer, and I didn't put this bike here, yeah, I could like kill the artillery. Anti-air would follow up, and get plus 10 more charge because I killed the battlecopter. And here, you see I have my infantry and a bike moving down here. This front, I'm already comfortable with. I'm not going to try to go for this property. But I have a chance to get this one. Maybe this one, which is why I sent foot soldiers down there. The point of winning a battle is to clear the area of enemies so that you can have your foot soldiers come in and start capturing and get that income lead. What is the income right now, by the way? One more. What did my opponent not capture? But yeah, I am going for kills. I don't really expect to get that property anyways. Hey, I got the anti-air ready to protect all my units from that battlecopter. And yeah, I'm send what did I drop? I think I dropped the tank over here and artillery over here. So yeah, like starting to get a bit more consolidation, if you wish to call it. So my opponent never got that bottom property. That's why they were behind the whole time. It wasn't this property. It was this one back here. So yeah, my opponent moves in. Rocket does get a shot off, kills my recon. I know the anti-air is there, at least, and the recon as well. I don't see it as of now. I will definitely spot it out, though. Yeah, my mech dies. Infantry's kind of moving in. Tank kills that one bike, and ooh, man. That anti-air is going to have a rough time. Rough time. Builds another tank on the bottom and another mech. Alright, so I go for the flare attack, and because of the flare attack, it increases my zone. Anti-air comes in, gets another boost. And you can see that I'm just getting all these charge because of all the damage that I'm doing here. Fortunately, I don't have a flare to reveal the mech or the anti-air up there. But yeah, I get rid of a lot of the forces. I think I saw the Forsythe unit on the rocket, and I just like send some tanks up here. So I saw that there was like about over 21,000 thrown into this rocket. I'm like, okay, I probably do have a chance to push down here and just get the properties. Don't try to go for the HQ. That's usually not how most games end. But yeah, I am able to get this property. Very likely to. Unless my opponent can like go use this anti-air, kill that bike. Can that anti-air kill that bike? 105, so yeah, it can. But yeah, pretty comfortable down there. I buffed up my CO unit to 1. Alright, so the lander gets a little bit of vision, and the mech gets the first strike. Anti-air just protect the property. My opponent protects the seaport, kills another bike. In artillery range, I lose that one unit, and my opponent resigns. Pretty understandable. They were losing a lot of units up here. They were just kind of building up here, but the rocket wasn't really doing much. Let's go back. Let's go back a turn. This is yeah, this is the very last turn. Let's go ahead and look at the stats. Would have been even income if my opponent didn't forget the city down here. I was 9 more damage away from my energy, so I would eventually get the vision. I more than double him in unit count, unit value. You double this, it'll be a little bit over, but he's not doubled. So I like more than half of his unit count, more than half of his unit value, kinda, almost, maybe. Ahead on income, but that's because my opponent made a mistake and forgot the one in the back. But yeah, thoughts about this game? I did like the lander. I did like the lander here, but then it moved up here and it allowed itself to get trapped back here. Kept the lander here. The artillery need to be here and try to shoot it, and then like if it gets shot once, maybe pull back, and maybe sit on the temp port. Might take up some money, but it'll definitely repair and resupply. Instead, my opponent moved up here, got trapped, and tried to hide over here, but didn't scout out for my battlecopter, which it definitely could have if it gotten through this tile. Let's see here. Also, this, like I said, this is about 3 tanks worth put in a very slow rocket, and he doesn't have any tanks to like try to support the top side. Only an anti-air and a recon. A couple of mechs my opponent builds, which I do like looking at this now because you have the lander. Like, say you could like drop the lander off and then build a mech, and then the mech will come back, be in range. By that time, the lander will come back here, and then like you have a second unit, put the mech in the lander here, bring it back out. Yeah, I do see the viability of mechs here, so I definitely would maybe try Will on this map. Yeah, it was just, I guess, poorly spent income. 21,000 only killed like a 1 HP recon, I'm pretty sure, and like gave a few buffs. Here you see my CO zone. I have it up to 51, so I definitely put in work with that CO zone. I tried to play around with my buffs, and I knew my objectives. Just try to like start to even out just a bit, and then commit to one side. I first thought the HQ, but then it was felt a little overextended. So then I like thought, okay, I could like maybe try to go for these properties. Although it is an easier time for the base to reinforce from there, I still like had a lot more units, to fight. I did gain a little bit of control of the middle, so therefore my opponent couldn't reinforce from the middle. So they had to keep building tanks back here, and they could have built a tank maybe up here, but they were trying to build mechs, and at the end of the day, they just didn't have a good unit composition to try to fight my army. I was about to get this property, and my opponent missed this property. I would have been ahead on income. Alright, guys and gals, that is alright, guys and gals, that was my Tiny Wars replay commentary. Another ranged game, another successful win. Thank you guys so much for watching. Expect matches of the tournament to come out probably this week. Like, the tournament's still going on. Some games already finished, some games are still ongoing, but it is definitely content that I hope that all of you guys will enjoy. Alright, guys and gals, I am Advanced Warrior. Thank you all so much for watching. You all have my warmest regards. Please take care.